Christine Lamb joining us this morning. Christine, how you doing?
I'm great. Good morning.
All right. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. You brought Nancy Sanford. Nancy, how you doing this morning?
Good.
All right. And we appreciate both of you being here. Janelle, it is so important for our community, and we talk about this from time to time, just steps up and helps out. If it's a charity event, if it's a fundraiser for, we were just at the Childhood Cancer Campaign fundraiser yesterday at Culver's. It doesn't matter what it is. I think all of us can give our time, money, some sort of help there, and we need to, don't we?
We do. Some people don't want to, ask for help, but I feel like everybody could use some help somewhere in their life.
And the very important. And so when West Shore Bank decided that they were going to kick off their Spirit of Giving program, I was thinking maybe, one event, a couple events. No, they have loaded the next month with a lot of happenings for the listeners and the viewers out there. Christine, I'll start with you in regards to this. When there was conversations internally there at West Shore Bank, about what could we do for the community, and then you laid down it's like 8 to 10 specific events here. What was those conversations like internally? If you don't mind sharing a little bit there.
Yeah, so I'm really excited that we're changing things up this year. Each of the market managers got an opportunity to get creative, think about some different causes that are near and dear to their hearts. In the past, it was primarily just focused on collecting funds to purchase a specific amount of meals, primarily for Thanksgiving. But each market manager realized that there's a multitude of different needs. We have, the elderly that are struggling. We have children in the school systems that are struggling. We have individuals that need warm clothing. Obviously there's different holidays coming up. So I really love the diversity that we're spreading across our 9 different communities.
All right, and we're going to be breaking down a lot of that today. Nancy, same sort of idea. You've been with West Shore Bank 21 years now. Congratulations, by the way, on that. Part of the Scottville team, the first branch for West Shore Bank. And it probably means a lot to you that you were able to give a lot of input and look at these initiatives. Take us through that process for you and for your team there in Scottville.
Well, yes, we were asked to think outside the box on areas that needed help, and one of the things that always come to me is the children. Our children these days do struggle at home for food, and that's when I'm also involved in the Optimist, so we've been working with the hand-to-hand, and that's how we brought up the hand-to-hand and the food for kids in our area, because there's multiple children that do go home on the weekends and they don't have much to eat. And as Rick Heisma from the Hand to Hand, who brought it from the Reformed Church, who started it in 2010, had realized there was some of his people there that were going hungry, and he thought, boy, if they went home all weekend, how would those hunger pains be to have no food? And that's how he brought the Hand to Hand that started in Grand Rapids up to our area. So at this point in time, I thought that was a great thing to do, is to help our children thrive in this area.
Absolutely, and that's so important. And you bring up a very crucial point, and that is, when the students are in school, they're getting their lunches. Some get breakfast, but a Friday comes along, and their next meal isn't for another day or couple days.
Yes,
it's hard to even imagine that, but it's happening.
It is happening, and it's more than people really realize, and that's why we just want to bring out the focus on it and try to help as much as we can to help our children thrive, because that is our next community. Those are our community. And if they're not thriving, shame on us for not helping or stepping up. And Mary DeReeve, she is the coordinator for Hand to Hand. She couldn't be here today, but she is the one that is handling it now through the Reformed Church. And I know you've seen multiple signs, and they've been out in multiple areas for it. So I think it's wonderful, because it is. And like they say, you think about it, when you go home on Friday night and don't have food again until Monday morning, That's a long time for a child. So this is what we're trying to do, is help curb that edge.
Well, let's talk about this specific event. You want to mark your calendars for November 16th. It's a Thursday, and it's from noon until 4 p.m. Christine, take us through this can drive for the kids in the greater Ludington and Scottville area that's taking place there.
Yeah, so we are inviting the community to please come out on the 16th. Easy day to remember, day right after opening day of deer season, from 12 to 4. Please swing by to see Nancy and I at Family Fair. We'll have some list available. We're just looking to gather items to help support both the Lakeshore Food for Kids, also hand to hand. At the end of the month, we're going to deliver all of the items so that they can focus on the backpack programs. Another huge need that was brought to our attention that I also don't think we talk enough about in our community, on those shopping lists, there is a request for some personal hygiene items. A lot of the kids are looking just to have some discreet ways to make sure that they're able to stay on top of their hygiene. So we are going to be putting together some little hygiene packets to be able to put in the area schools.
Okay, great idea, because sometimes the kids, they don't express that. I mean, Janelle, as a mom yourself, the kids are focused on, school and teachers and homework and everything else. Yep. But sometimes it's hard to have that conversation from the child expressing things. And I think from a parent standpoint, you want to know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, kids aren't always the nicest these days either. So the last thing you want is to be teased, whether it's hygiene or food. You don't want to tell somebody, you're hungry or whatever. But just to even have bad hygiene in school, at any point.
And that can create bullying, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the last thing you want is for a kid to go through that kind of stage in life.
And so as a community, we can come together and we can help. So you're looking for canned items to be donated at Family Fair. Did I hear right that you're going to come up with a list of items that you want? Yep. Okay. Yep. And I was sure the resource, the West Shore Bank website, you'll post that. That's a huge resource for this. It's the can drive for kids in Ludington, November 16th, noon to 4 p.m. Nancy, anything else that we forgot to talk about that before we move on to another part of the Spirit of Giving program?
Yeah, I would just like to say how important it is, and that actually for information you could go to our website, which is www.westshorebank.com. All of this information is listed on our website. Not only that, but it's not just canned food, but it's also monetary donations. If you'd like to do monetary donations, you can do that right through our website. There is a portal you can go in and make a donation there if you'd like. And one thing that's really nice, and West Shore Bank is always good about that, is they will do a match up to $1,000 between these organizations on the monetary donation side. So I think that's really great, and that's one thing I love about working with West Shore Bank, is that they are so strong in our community, and they do serve our community.
I love that. I love hearing those matches like that. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Nancy Sanford, Scottville VP, and as well Christine Lamb, the Ludington market manager there. And did I upgrade you? You're market manager, right?
I'm an AVP.
Okay,
yes.
there you go. Okay, good. I didn't want to.
I'm just Scottville strong. Yes, that's what I am.
I love it. Well, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Spirit of Giving, and it's such a great program, and it's just scratching the surface. You've got the Shred for Kids in Ludington and Scottville also coming up. Nancy, take us through that, because as we get closer to the end of the year, I know we're going to do it here. We're going through a lot of the files. We're like, hey, we don't need that anymore. Let's get and shredding in general. There's a cost usually as part of that. But you also, you want to make sure that any sort of material, you don't want it to just be to be thrown in the trash. You want it to be shredded. And there's a program that West Shore Bank has come up with that is going to help out the kids as well.
Yes, and the Mason County area, that's Scottville, the East Ludington branch, and the Ludington main branch all have secure bins in their offices. So you can come in with documents that you want shredded that are very personable and you don't want out there, they are in locked bins, and that will be every day through the whole month of November. So once again, you can come in with a few cans to donate, or even, once again, monetary, because any of our tellers, too, will take monetary donations at the teller windows for this program. So you can bring your documents in and have them shredded, and they are in a secure bin. So that's very important to know, and I think it's fantastic. So come in and see us. We'd love to see you. And, hey, we might even take your picture to show you.
There you go.
I mean, this is great community efforts.
Yeah, this is good. Christine, take us through, why you thought West Shore Bank should add this part of it. And it sounds like, to me, as we read through a lot of the Spirit of Giving programs, that it was, we have this to offer for the community. Well, let's make sure that's tied in with helping the community. Was that sort of that conversation that went through the team?
Yeah, it's a really good question, Chris. I think it's really important to stress, too, that anybody in the community is allowed to take advantage of the service. You do not have to be a West Shore Bank customer. Gives an opportunity for the public to come in, meet some of the staff members. Some people have never been into a West Shore Bank before, get to talk with Nancy and I. We all know that the beginning of the year, tax season, a lot of people are going to be digging through bank statements, printing statements, looking through receipts. We all have to hunker down. It's going to be a long winter. So a great time to declutter your offices, your homes, your cars. So yeah, please feel free, come in to see us. You're welcome to drop off, a box of documents. Nancy really stressed the fact that yes, they are locked. They are secured. Nobody can access those other than the shred company. And we're just asking in exchange that you would consider dropping off either some canned goods. Again, the list, you can retrieve that from our website. Any of the personal hygiene items so that we can start creating our different discrete hygiene kits. And then Nancy also mentioned there's QR codes and monetary donations.
All right, great information there. And do they interact with anybody, or do they just go in and bring the documents and put it in the box?
It just really depends. I mean, we have
Okay.
people that come in, some people are just like quick in and out. The display is very noticeable. So as soon as you go in the lobby, you're going to see where the shred bins are. If you want to interact with the staff, I mean, we love meeting new people.
All right, sounds great. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Nancy and Christine here live in the studio. You probably have some questions that have come up. Your thoughts on the giving and the program? You probably have some documents that you need to shred. Since
Oh, I
you're the
do.
new
Yeah,
general
my
manager.
boyfriend. Yeah, my boyfriend and I. He's obsessed with shredding everything. So he's been taking it to work and shredding it. So I'm like thinking, okay, well, I have these canned goods that I haven't used, and I have a tendency of buying stuff, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to make that for dinner, and then I just don't, and I decide on something else, so then it's like sitting there. So I'm going through in my head, I'm like, wow, what can I get rid of in the pantry? And then I can take that whole box of documents and do that.
It works hand in hand for sure. Christine and Nancy, there's other things, and it's not just isolated to the Ludington Scottville area or MCE, MCC, Ludington. You have expanded because you have locations from Traverse City all the way down to the Muskegon area. That the other focuses are in areas of Frankfort and TC. But Hart has an event or an effort there with the Visit Santa for a cause that's taking place in Manistee. We have the Spread the Love in Hart. Nancy, are you comfortable chatting with me about the Spread for Love in the Hart area? And we can chat a little bit about that.
What is that?
Yeah, it's the West Shore Bank Hart Branch gathering gently used winter clothing.
Winter
Is that right?
clothing for the children and stuff. That for the schools, they're teaming up with the schools there because there's lots of children that do come in and they don't have the proper clothing or things to keep them warm through the winter and stuff. So they're looking for gentle used clothing to bring in.
Okay. And in addition, they can not only bring clothing, but also a canned good drive there in the Hart area too, Christine.
Yes.
Why is it so important for West Shore Bank to make sure that all of the branches are involved in this effort?
Again, I was really excited that they allowed some creativity. They allowed us to diversify, and they allowed us to give our personal input as to what the greatest need was for our specific market areas. So again, we have some that are really focusing in on the elderly. Again, with us focusing on the school-aged children. The program, Spirit of Giving, we've been doing it for about 12 years now, and this is really the first time that we've changed it up. So change is great. I'm really excited to hear about the outcomes.
All right, looking forward to it. And both of you and others are going to be visiting us over the next couple of weeks to discuss even more of the programs, to dive more into it. Today's focus, just really making sure that you put some of these dates in mind. First of all, the entire month of November for the shredding program. That's great. And you can stop in. Is it just a few branches, or is it any branch that they can stop in to bring their shredded documents there?
Yes, any of the branches within Mason County. I'm sure if you're within any of our other community branches, they're going to definitely help you out with your documents.
All right, sounds good. Make sure you do that. Bring in some canned good items, and you have the list on your website right now, so they can go there. And I think it's so important to mention this is that we want to, and I when we're talking with the Food for Kids and other programs throughout the segments that we've had here on the radio stations, they brought up this as an important part. Is you don't want to just say, "Hey, I'm not going to use that anymore," or we're never going to eat that. We want to be able to be donating items that people will consume, right? And I think that's crucially important. And Nancy, it's probably so important that people donate items that will be used, right?
Correct. And we do have a list of the needs that the Food for Kids and the Hand to Hand like to receive, because they have certain meals. They already have it programmed on certain meals that they send out.
Okay.
So that they can feed them certain meals, such as breakfast items and lunch, just like they would at the school if those children were to be at the school. So there is a list. We do have the list. You can reach out to our website. You can reach out to one of us, and we can give that to you. We'll also have the list at Family Fair, so that if you want to come there and get the list and go in and go shopping, which is fantastic, we will have that there for you as well. One thing that's great is that all of our branches, they were able to decide who they wanted to help. So we've got such a diversity on things that can be donated. So it's just not food. It can be money. It can be clothes. It can be hygiene products, so many different things. And every one of those things are so important to our community and help in our community.
All right. And so if you have a West Shore Bank location anywhere near you, you can know that they're committed to helping out the community, helping out the kids and families in the area, and it's going to be important for people in, like I said, Manistee, Frankfort, Traverse City, Hart, to Shelby, down to Muskegon, to visit West Shore Bank's website. You'll see all of the initiatives in the Spirit of Giving program, and let's help. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about additional ones, but it starts by going to the website and starting there. So, Christine,
I see some of them are going to be like Pop-Tarts, microwave popcorn, pudding cups, fruit snacks.
Yep.
And probably
boxed
more.
macaroni and cheese.
Yep.
All right.
Peas and carrots, all kinds of different items.
These are great, and we'll put that link to it on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. Make sure that that's linked there. Christine, we've talked about a lot this morning. We talked about obviously the canned food drive coming up November 16th, noon to 4 p.m. Noon to 4 p.m. at Family Fair in Ludington. Make sure you stop by. We'll be there broadcasting live for the event. Anything we've missed talking about that you want to share with the audience this morning?
I think you've done a great job. You've covered everything. Nancy and I appreciate the opportunity to come in to talk about, two organizations that we're very, very passionate about.
Absolutely. Food for Kids there, hand to hand, and a lot of others we're going to be sharing with the audience as we go along. I wouldn't do justice if I didn't say this as well. I was at the Grand yesterday. Erin from your team was there. She just celebrated her 2 years at West Shore Bank.
She did.
So we're giving her a shout out, and she completed her master's degree. I heard too. So you've got a great team here at West Shore Bank. And it sounds like, Nancy, that the commitment from the staff, it's not just, hey, we got to do this. No, they're excited to be a part of this, right?
Yes, they are. You know, and the thing that's nice too is that West Shore Bank lets us decide, lets us put together what we want to do, so it gets them really involved. And yes, we do. Everybody is very passionate about it, especially the spirit of giving.
All right, sounds good. Nancy, Christine, thanks so much for taking some time with
Chris.
us this morning. It is 9:41 now here on 102.7